Really excited to see a lot of people joining, so we're just going to wait a couple more minutes before we get started. A lot of people are still joining in, so thank you so much. We're so excited you're here with us. Hang on and we'll begin briefly. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started now. So we're really excited. A lot of people are joining in. Thank you so much for being a part of our webinar today. Again, this is Marin Hirsch. I'm the sales manager here at Net Elixir, and we're really excited to share a lot of information with you today. Today's topic is actually going to be about ad copies. The title today is The Math Behind the Message, Research Insights for Crafting Successful Adwords Ad Copies. So I'm just going to give you a really brief background about Net Elixir. We are a global search marketing agency located in Princeton, New Jersey, and are focused on technology and math to drive exceptional results for our clients. You can find out more about us by visiting our site, netelixir.com, and we invite you to follow us on Twitter @NetElixir for facts and insights from the world of digital marketing and analytics. So here at Net Elixir, we have 3 business lines. We offer services from paid search, PLA management, SEO, shopping engines, social media, and so on. Then we also offer our technology. Elixir, it's our enterprise-level technology, and then we do offer SEM and SEO technology for small businesses as well. So the question is, why Net Elixir? Let me highlight some of our differentiators. We specialize in building and applying mathematical models to drive incredible search marketing results. And also back in 2008, we built an in-house retail intelligence unit, which has been engaged in conducting advanced consumer insight research. And also we have global search marketing capabilities and have driven proven results for search marketing campaigns in 40-plus countries worldwide. So here's our client list, just a sampling of some of the clients that we work with. So here's a little background about Net Elixir University. We were launched in 2012 with the goal of sharing the best practices in retail and digital marketing with 10,000 businesses worldwide by 2015. I strongly encourage you to join our Net Elixir LinkedIn group to gain access to our latest research. So today's webinar, we're going to have 2 different speakers talking about ad copies. First is Scott Smith. He has over 8 years of experience as a marketing communications expert. He graduated summa cum laude from Rutgers University with a degree in journalism and communication. And also, just a fun fact, he lived in Paris right next to the cafe where Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald would often frequent. And also our other speaker today is Don Rodriguez. He has over 20 years of experience as a marketing executive with companies like Dell and Accenture. He teaches marketing classes in Rutgers University's MBA program, and his belief is marketing is all about the math, which stems from his first professional career as an electrical engineer. So today's table of contents, what we're going to be covering. We're going to first discuss strategy behind crafting ad copies, and that will be covered by Don. Then we'll be discussing the execution of ad copies, and Scott will be discussing that as well as the measurement and the checklist for what you must do for ad copy tips, and that will also be covered by Scott. And at the end, we'll actually open up the last 5 minutes to questions. So I'm actually going to pass over presentationship to Scott, who's going to start, to Don, who's going to start out for us today. Don, thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Well, first we're going to talk about crafting ad copy based on customer journey. So what do we mean by customer journey? This diagram represents the journeys that customers take in their relationship with your brands. The outer loop is the traditional view of acquiring a new customer as they move from awareness through interest and desire to action and making a purchase. The inner loop, what I call the retention journey, represents the journey that every business wants their customers to travel after they made a purchase. You want them to enjoy their purchase and enjoy it well enough that they tell others about what a great product or company you have. Over time, you hope that they develop a true emotional bond with your brand. The idea I want to introduce here is sort of a radical concept with respect to paid search. Paid search is great for the outer ring, the new customer journey, and many marketers hope that they only have to pay once for a new customer. That is, acquire them with a paid ad and then get their repeat business via direct visits or lower cost channels like email marketing. What I want to suggest to you is that paid search can be used to drive the retention customer journey as well. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about crafting ad copy for new customer acquisition. This slide depicts the traditional marketing model of a customer's journey to a purchase decision. They become aware, they build interest into a desire that they hopefully take action upon by completing a purchase. The idea here is to match your ad copy message to the stage of the journey your target customer is in. For example, in the early information gathering stage, when you want to generate awareness of your offering, copy that says, "Learn more now," is more likely to resonate with your target than copy that says, "Buy me now." At the interest level, your target is probably familiar with solutions that exist for whatever need they're trying to solve, and they may or may not be familiar with your particular version. So, for example, if you're a tech company, talking about what's new, for example, new advanced technology, can help steer that interest your way. At the next stage, the desire stage, you're trying to turn that desire into action. You want to get people off the couch and clicking their mouse button. So copy that says, "Order a free sample today, get your free trial today, download our free buyer's guide," all copy intended to try and get them to click that mouse. And finally, when your target is ready to pull the trigger and pull out their credit card, you want to make sure that they're aware of whatever special value you have at that moment in time, so that they'll visit your site to investigate rather than your competitors. So copy that says, "Free shipping now, ends for April 30th, buy now, sale ends tomorrow, use promo code today to save 20%. All examples of copy intended to drive that visit to your site. So now let's talk about how your ad copy can facilitate your existing customers' journey to becoming raving fans of your brand. You'll see the first stage we call enjoy. You want to reinforce the positive experience your customers are having with the product that they bought from you. In your ad copy, you can encourage product reviews. Use a site link, for example, to your product review page, list the star ratings of that product. In the second stage, the advocating stage, you can encourage social sharing with your ads. For example, we've seen companies now using the hashtag in their ad copy. And finally, in that third stage, the bonding stage, frankly, I couldn't think of an example of how your ad copy can directly help create an emotional bond with your brand. If you can, let us know during the Q&A so that we can share that with everybody else. Now, Scott is going to talk to you in a minute here about elements of your ads that are aimed at the new customer acquisition journey. Before I hand the mic over to him, I want to point out to you that some of those elements can be used to influence your existing customers' retention journey as well. For example, companies like American Frame include their seller ratings in their ads, while others will include copy intended to build instant credibility with their audience. Messages like, "as seen on TV," "featured on Good Morning America," "selling widgets since 1932. Elements like this, when seen by people who have bought from you recently, can reinforce in their mind that the decision to purchase from you was a smart one. Now, I'm going to pass the baton to Scott, who's going to give you 3 easy tips you can implement tomorrow that will increase your business.
Thank you, Don, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. As Don just mentioned, I'll be walking you through 3 proven ad copy tips we found from our extensive research of over 500,000 ads. Each of these tips can have an exponential impact on the CTR for your ads. Before we get started with the first tip, just a quick intro on Popkin, which is the company highlighted in the slide we see. They are a German clothing retailer with more than 320 stores across Europe. They market plus-size clothing for women in the U.S. and have been our client on a range of services since 2010. Now, as you'll see, the first tip just popped onto the screen, and it is a big one. Our research shows that adding an exclamation point to the end of an ad can boost CTR by 7%. Now that, I want to repeat that one time, 7% for an exclamation point. Now you wouldn't think such a small grammatical addition would have such a large impact. However, by adding an exclamation point, you are evoking an emotional response in your user that prompts them to click on your ad. After all, if you think about Marketing 101, what is the first thing you want to do? You want to get people to act, and you want to evoke an emotion. Using this tip accomplishes that immediately, and it also has the added benefit, of eliciting a wow response and a wow factor. This is an extremely effective part of writing successful ads and an extremely easy thing to do. We're going to move on to the next slide. And just again, we're going to give you a quick intro on the next highlighted company, which is Kansas City Steaks. They are a premium steaks and fried foods company that has been serving steaks nationwide since 1932. They distribute meat products and packaged gourmet products to restaurants and grocery stores all across the U.S. And they have been our client on a number of services as well since 2010. Now the next tip has popped up on the screen, and this one is even bigger. Having enhanced site links in your ad can boost CTR by 23%. I'm going to take a moment and let that sink in. 23%. A huge, huge number and a huge amount of space on your ad. Using site links allows you to accomplish 3 fundamental marketing goals. First is that you get to highlight any unique offers you have on your website. So if you take a look at the ad we have displayed, you can see that Kansas City Steaks has decided to offer $10 off their spiral spiced ham, which is to the left of the site links. This is huge, since not only are they describing what they sell in their main ad, but below it they have a separate section specifically devoted to their special unique offer. I don't have to tell you what this means because you're highlighting any offer you have for your website at any time. Next, you can also promote your unique products in a more expansive way. So for instance, the filet mignon section they have highlighted. This section is a perfect example. Here, Kansas City Steaks is describing their product, how juicy it is, the cut, the premiumness. It all allows for much greater detail and allows the user to get a much clearer picture and a feel for your product directly from the ad where you wouldn't normally have the space to do in a regular paid ad. Finally, and perhaps most importantly for the marketing goals, is that you honestly get a much greater share of real estate on the SERP. So while a normal paid ad would only be what you see at the top, you now have 3 to 4 times as much space on Google to highlight your products, highlight your offers, and talk about your company, all for not a single cent more. I don't think I have to explain to you how important that is for your ads and for your company. We're going to move on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about American Frame as well very quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to take you back. I just want to make one key point for enhanced site links. Keep in mind, when you are doing enhanced site links, you need to drive users to unique landing pages. I brought you back to this slide because I don't want to forget this very important point. We've seen many ads where site links all lead to the same landing page, and we strongly recommend that the landing page be directly tied to the site link. For instance, if a user were to click on the Get Free Crab Cakes today, naturally they'd like to be taken to a page that is about crab cakes and not just Kansas City Steaks. So I apologize for the little faux pas, but I didn't want to forget that important point about having a most optimized site link as possible. All right, now we're actually going to move on to the next site link. So, a quick intro on American Frame. They are a family-owned business and have been one of the country's leading suppliers of custom picture frames, do-it-yourself picture framing supplies, and fine art printing since 1973. They also print art and photography to fit anyone's custom needs, and have been our client on a number of search marketing services since 2011. Now, as you'll see here, the third tip just popped up, and it's that seller ratings boost CTR by 19%. Again, just such a solid number. 19% for one extra thing on your ad. Huge, huge number. What seller ratings do is provide validation for your products. A user will obviously be more apt to click when they see other users across the web have clicked as well. For instance, if I were looking for a frame, I would want to know that the people that went to American Frame actually enjoyed and used their products. By having user reviews and seller ratings, you can definitely expand upon the validation aspect of marketing and offer your prospective users the validity they need to buy your products. Now, that concludes the proven tips section of our webinar. The next section of our webinar is where we're going to take a look at an incredibly powerful do-it-yourself tool you can use yourself to create ad copy. We call this tool the Ad Copy Impact Grader, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use it to write successful ads. As you'll see on the screen, we've created this Ad Copy Grader to identify 10 insights based upon our extensive research and assign a weight to each insight. So if you look directly at the weight column in the middle of the screen, you'll see each has a number. Free shipping has 19, official site has 5, and so on. These numbers are the direct CTR increases we have found when you include these in your ads. So if you were to include free shipping in your ad, you would have a 19% increase in click-through rates. These are all actionable insights you can take to include in your ad, by the way. Now, I do want to stress that some of these actionable insights are business decisions and not necessarily ad copy decisions. Not every company, of course, is going to have free shipping in their ad because it may not be pertinent to that company. Not everyone offers free shipping, of course. However, our numbers have shown that companies who do have that offer have increased their CTR by 19%. So, for this example, we have compared ad copy for Reeds.com, Zales, and Kay, all major online jewelry sellers. We did a search on Google, if you see above to the left, for non-trademark term of art carved wedding bands. As you can see, this pulled up, and also if you want to take a look on the right, by the way, the original ads that came up are to the right for each company. Now, when we did this search, and after we analyzed, this is what came up and this is what we found. So, for instance, if you look at the first line, Reeds and Zales both had free shipping in their ads, but Kay Jewelers did not. So Kay Jewelers is missing out on a huge opportunity here. I'm not going to walk you through each line one by one, but if you scan through, you can plainly see the impact each company has done with their ads and what one has done and the strengths and weaknesses of each of their ads. The most important part is to the right on the bottom. Our ad impact copy grader allows us to assign a score out of 100 to each company for their ads. So Reed's got a score of 46 out of 100. Zales got 50 out of 100, and Kay only got 23 out of 100. Now, Kay is a huge online jeweler. We've all seen their commercials a million times on TV, and 23 out of 100, quite frankly, is a very low number for such a large marketer. So I just want to keep that in mind. We're going to move on to our checklist of the 10 best practices for ad copies that we've found through our extensive research. If you'll take a look at number 1, I'm not going to read every single one, but I will go through a few. Having geo-targeted ad copies always have higher CTRs than nationally based ads. So this is a new thing, obviously, that if, of course, you want to target a local base, it's much better than targeting a nation base. The ad copies that are targeted for a specific location have a higher CTR. I've already spoken about free shipping. I do want to move on to official site very quickly. Mentioning official site in the display URL or ad copy also increases CTR. People get skeptical online, and if they know that it's official store or official site, they're more apt to click on your ads. I'm not going to run through more of them at this time, but I will say that the full presentation will be available for all attendees after we concluded, and this checklist will be available for all of you to look at. And now, I'd like to thank you all for joining. I'm going to turn it back to Marin, and I look forward to speaking with you all in just a few minutes and answering all your questions again. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much to Don and to Scott. So, we just went through the ad copy grader. Scott did a great job of explaining all the different tips that you can implement. So, if you are interested in getting your ad copies graded by Scott, we actually are going to offer that to all the attendees. So, if you'd like to do that, you can actually contact Scott directly, Scott at netelixir.com. And what you need to provide is your URL as well as your 2 competitors' URLs, and then 3 different keywords you and your competitors are advertising on. And then Scott will take a look at 3 ad copies and point out areas of improvement. And then we can follow up and conduct a 30-minute one-on-one session to present the report to you. So if you'd like to learn more about Net Elixir search marketing services and technology, you can contact me directly, Marin at netelixir.com. We also invite you to download these 10 SEM ad copy tips that we discussed today. You can actually find them at netelixir.com/adcopy. And also, we invite you to register for our May 15th webinar. This is actually going to be covering Google Analytics for those of you out there who use Google Analytics, and the title is going to be Google Analytics Events, How One Company Cut Their Cost Per Lead by 44%. And also just a quick reminder, on Twitter, follow us at Net Elixir. And now we're actually going to open the floor to questions. So, all right, we're getting lots of questions in. Let me find the first one here. All right, gentlemen. First question. Does the customer journey-based ad copy messaging work for all categories?
Yeah, this is Don. What we've seen is the customer journey messaging is going to be more impactful for what I call considered purchases, right? So bigger ticket items, larger, where there's more involved decision-making process in making that purchase decision.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Don. All right, so next question is, where are the customer review ratings pulled from?
The review ratings, well, the seller ratings come from a number of services that are out there, like, for example, BizRate. And review ratings come from the services that you use on your website. There's a number of third-party services. Many are also built into e-commerce platforms as well.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's see, next question. All right, do the ad copy impact factors differ for brand and non-brand?
That is a great question, and this is Scott here. Yes, they do differ. For brand terms, adding official site, for example, is very powerful, while for non-brand terms, using the keyword in the display URL is a more optimal approach. So yes, the answer is they can vary depending on non-brand versus brand.
Okay, thank you so much, Scott. All right, let's find this question. Why don't customer reviews always show up on a listing? Example, 2 searches on the same term, one shows stars and the other doesn't for the same URL.
Part of that is going to be based on the algorithms. I'm assuming that you're talking, I'm not sure if you're referring to like an organic result or a paid result, but on the organic, the natural search results, it's going to be algorithm-based based on Google's algorithm. So I hope that addresses the question.
Okay, here's a question. How do I write an ad copy specifically for geo-targeting?
That is a great question. Honestly, it's just about, yes, including the location in the ad copy. So if you were trying to target people in New York City, you would say, search marketing specialist for New York City. It's a very simple approach, but it's a very good approach to let them know you are in their area.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Let's see here. Let me find another question. We got so many coming in.
There we go.
All right.
Just bear with us. We have a lot of questions coming in. So,
in place of seller ratings, is it possible to automatically pull in BBB ratings?
Better Business Bureau?
Yeah, Better Business Bureau?
I'm not aware of a way to pull in the Better Business Bureau ratings through an API or anything like that.
We'll have to investigate that for you. We can certainly follow up. Let's see here. Okay, also, as opposed to free shipping off, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't answer that question. I apologize. We're getting so many. Will we see the 3 tips all together again during the webinar? You missed the first one. Yes, we will be sharing all of the tips. That will all be shared afterwards, or we'll send the presentation to everyone. And someone else asked about the copy of the slides. So yes, we will be sharing that.
I saw we had a question as opposed to free shipping offers, including free content, free downloads. That is an effective manner, but a free shipping or an offer of 10%, etc., is a much more highly effective way to market your ads. It's something that you can use, but I recommend an offer rather than free download, free content, etc.
All right, we do have more questions coming in. What we're going to do actually is follow up with everyone and answer any other questions that we didn't get to today. But we do appreciate all of you for joining us. It means a lot, and we're glad that you've been able to join today and listen to this really informational webinar. So what we're going to do is actually wrap up. But certainly, any other questions that you think of, please feel free to reach out to us after the webinar if you think of anything. And like I said, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining, and definitely stay tuned for next month's webinar, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, take care, everyone. Thank you.